Okay, this is Jenny Boots from Fiyah Magazine, the PR Marketing Branding Manager. We are here with the legend, the GOAT, Grandmaster Flash. We have some questions. Tonight, Grandmaster Flash is at the UPAC doing his show, Grandmaster Flash, Hip Hop, People, Places, and Things. The show is one of the greatest things to ever happen to hip hop. Mr. Flash, can you please tell us why it is so important for now for you to get the word out about the original hip hop creator?
Well, I think what's important is it's not only me, it's Herc and it's Bam and it's a whole like community of us from the Bronx. I think what's extremely important is people know that this thing started in a certain time frame and in a certain place, and it started in the 70s. That's where hip hop originally started, and a lot of the new babies probably don't know that, you know. And it started in the South Bronx, and this thing was just pretty much for recreation, you know. And here it is, almost 50 years later, and it's now become like arguably the biggest music culture on the planet. So for me, what makes it important is, how do I explain this? When I do interviews with some journalists, I try explaining to them, you know, what it was like, how we did it, why we did it, and where we did it. And as I try to answer the journalist's question, it looks like his eyes is going up in his head, like he's not understanding what it is that I'm talking about. So this is why I created a show called Hip Hop, People, Places, and Things. And what it is while I'm on the turntables, I'm visually showing you areas of New York where this thing came from. You know, you see people, you see places, and you see things. And all this combined together is the culture. So for me, it's critically important, especially as big as, you know, hip hop, you know, become. You know, I think it's pretty important. Pretty important. Yeah.
My other question is, how important was the 70s to the hip hop culture?
Well, it was a start. You know, it's like, if I were to, you know, talk about myself, which I prefer to because Herc has his story and Bam has his story, it's like, we didn't have no computers, no social media, no studios, no beatbox, no technology of no sort, just vinyl. And how we generated our backing tracks for the rapper or for the MC to speak on is when I came up with the quick mix theories, where placing your fingertips on the records, and when you see just go record shopping and looking for that little drum break area in the song. And a lot of times that particular area of the song where the drummer gets a solo was like 10 seconds, and that kind of pissed me off in my teenage years. So I took about 3 or 4 years of my life in mom's apartment. This is a very, very, very long time ago, and I came up with a system that with duplicate copies of the record, you could take that drum section and kind of like cut and paste. You know, so I was, you know, considering taking 10 seconds and making it seamlessly 10 minutes. Now it was used to service the breakdancer. But then what I used to do is I used to take a microphone and put it on the other side of the table and see if anybody could sort of talk to this quiet bed of music, and didn't realize that doing this would bring rap into the world, you know, almost 40 years later. So it's pretty cool.
And when we talk about that, now we talk about the house of hip hop when it first started.
Right.
And the house of hip hop, can you explain the house of hip hop?
House of hip hop is just here. Like for me, hip hop is the structure, and inside the structure was 4 elements: the graffiti artist, the breakdancer, MC, and the DJ. And this is the way that it started early on. But the DJ was responsible to play the music that allowed the breakdancers to break, male or female, and for human beings to speak words on an open bed of music. graffiti artists would also interpret these wonderful drawings by what they heard from us DJs. So it was a 4-element culture. This is pretty much where it starts. So for me, the hip hop is like the house. And the 4 elements lived in this house. And that's where it is for me.
Now, where do you see the future of hip hop heading for this genre, this generation? Where do you see it heading?
You know, for me, yesterday's history, tomorrow's a mystery. All I have is right now. And all I can say is this here. With the explosion of this culture, it has allowed me to travel, if I were to speak minimally, 150 cultures, 150 countries a year. So I do this in Australia, Japan, Canada, London, England, Germany, France. Like, it has allowed me to take this knowledge that's not everybody knows and teach this like around the world. It's pretty cool. So right now I'm really, really happy that it exploded, because it could have just stayed in the Bronx. And that wouldn't have been a good thing or a bad thing. It just would have been still in the Bronx. But it exploded from the cassettes that made it overseas. And then from there, later on, it became, well, I call it small business, when we were just doing it in the park for recreation. But then record companies came in and made it big business. So it gives me like a path to travel around the world, and it's pretty cool.
My last question is any advice to any upcoming DJs or DJs that are in the industry right now, or any up-and-coming producers? Do you have any advice for them?
Conquer your neighborhood. Then conquer your state. And once you conquer your state, conquer your next state. Then conquer your next state, and then your next state. Then take it overseas and conquer each country one step at a time. And see, the way that it works is, if you just keep perfecting your craft, the only hang-up is that you don't know when it's going to blow. But if you stay with it, it's going to blow. You know, because a lot of times I remember just trying to figure out just the quick mix theory, how to do it. There were sometimes I got stuck for weeks and weeks and weeks, like, how can I take this tiny drum beat and extend it percussively and seamless? And it was sometimes I just wanted to just walk away and say, damn, it's not coming out right. But staying with it, I figured out how to make it work. So now people sample to make a seamless bed of music so the human beings can speak on it. So all I can say is just stay at it. Stay at it, because you might have that thing that the world is waiting for. Pretty much, that's it.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much.
There you have it.
Awesome.
The legend, Grandmaster Flash, Fiyah New York TV. It's fire, baby.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay.